We got everything we need right here. Wine and burning chemistry. You and me alone. You and me alone. Inside of our embassy. Everything we need's right here. Make me sing along, sing along. I never thought I'd ever be stuck by you. I never thought I'd ever be stuck by you. Oh, watch me dancing in the colors, lightning blowing up a thunder, wash it over me. We got everything we need, right? Watch me dancing in the colors, lightning blowing up a thunder, wash it over me. Yeah, we got everything we need right here. We got everything, moonlight on your naked skin. Summer's blind us to giving. Where you wanna go? Where you wanna go? Stars align onto your face. Pretty sweet, your sour taste. Make me sing along, sing along. I never thought I'd ever be stuck by you. I never thought I'd ever be stuck by you. Oh, watch me dancing in the colors, lightning blowing up a thunder, wash it over me. We got everything we need, right? Watch me dancing in the colors, lightning blowing up a thunder, wash it over me. Yeah, we got everything we need right here. We got everything, sharing all your deepest dreams, wonder what they really mean, yeah. In the empty bottle lies all the answers. Write down all your memories, feel the things you wanna feel, yeah. In the empty bottle lies all the answers. Oh, watch me dancing in the colors, lightning blowing up a thunder, wash it over me. We got everything we need, right? Watch me dancing in the colors, lightning blowing up a thunder, wash it over me. Yeah, we got everything we need right here.
Hello everyone, happy Friday. How is everybody? Hope we're feeling good this Friday. It's been a long week, huh? How are we all feeling? I'm feeling tired, just tired. I am the Duchess of exhausted, as someone said the other day. But happy nonetheless. Just happy to be with you all. Happy to be with you all. Thank you, Annie Bullard, for putting a 1 in the chat. You know what the 1 in the chat means by now. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know that you can hear me. Oi. Okay, let's see. Hello, Elaine. Annie Lynn. Erica Gordima. That's a new name. Well, not one I've noticed before. Hello, welcome. Hello, Lydia. Yes, Cynthia. Thank you for the prayer. Thank you for the prayer, darling. Lydia, we all have time as we wait for Duchess to watch that Baron Food Truck video again. He will not stop until it reaches 10K. Okay, when you finish the podcast, go over to Baron's channel and watch that video. I know what you mean. Watch it twice. For good measure. Hello, Dolores. How are you? Yeah, I dodged the storm. Okay. Either my bones are made of concrete or everybody else's bones are made of feathers. because I was walking down the road and the wind was going everywhere, and I was actually standing up and walking pretty fine. But I could see people falling over and like chunks of wood all over the street and like parts of the ceiling falling down. So maybe I don't know my own strength, but I didn't actually have much of a problem walking around earlier today. But the wind has been pretty crazy, but not that bad in London, to be honest. I think it's more near the coastal towns and where the storm is coming in. That's where it's quite bad. I think it's been relatively okay. It's definitely calmed down a bit in the last hour, at least where I am anyway. Mm. Yeah, Annie, in Florida. Okay, so funny story, you just reminded me. When I went to Disneyland, Florida with my family, I literally arrived the day after they'd had a really bad storm, and I totally forgot that this had been in the news. And I was talking to this local, and he was like, "Oh, what's it like in London at the moment?" And I was like, "Oh my god, it's so bad, like with the rain." And he was like, "Yeah, we just had like a whole hurricane that finished yesterday." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's definitely worse than just a little bit of rain." So yeah, I know that you guys get some pretty bad weather, but you handle it very well. You handle it a lot better than what we handle here in the UK. I mean, we get 1 inch of snow and the whole damn country shuts down. Hello, Sonia. Thank you for joining us. Hello, Denise. Cookies and cream. Patricia. Joanne. Joan. Myra V. Hello. Okay. Ginger Lily. Yes, thank God it's Friday. Friday, Friday. Hello, Ethan's husband, Palena. Florence, hello. Don't know that I recognize your name, but welcome. Anna, Anna and Annie, always for the dancing. And Ethan husband and Marsha, always the dancing. I think I'll change the song every few weeks so that you have something new to jam to. Hello, Joan. Audrey from New Orleans. Oh, Audrey, can you let me know? Is it true that New Orleans has a really big kind of goth scene? Because that's something that I want to check out. I'm into all that alternative kind of the aesthetic of it is what I like. But I heard that there's like meant to be some like goth scene in New Orleans or like alternative scene there. Yes, thank you to all of the moderators. Wow, we're almost at 250. Thumbs up, everyone. Okay, I think I'm. Oh, Annie, you're retired. Good for you. Okay. Wow, so many of you. Oh, Crystal Duchess, so you are tired. There has been so much royalty throughout the last couple of weeks. Yes, never ending. I feel like this is going to be like this all year. Okay, guys, I think I've realized something also. Monday to Thursdays, I think if there's news, I'm just going to do a live and then I'll just do pre-recorded stuff over the weekends because I think especially now that I'm doing a lot more writing for the blog, hopefully by next week you'll have a few articles up. I don't think that I'm going to be able to do pre-recorded stuff unless it's like very quick updates, like one thing happened, I'm just like I can't really do like a whole live. I think that's just the way it's going to be going forward, like lives Monday to Friday. They won't always be long. Sometimes they'll just be short if there isn't a lot of news, and then pre-recorded more detailed stuff over the weekend because I've been finding it very, very difficult to sit down and do like the pre-recorded stuff during the week because remember that I do still do my freelance stuff. And they're doing cartwheels. Love to hear it. Okay, let's get started then. Let's get Doggy off the screen and get to business. So yeah, the storm has really come in. I loved Omid's tweet. Storm Eunice is coming for your wig. Wig wearers, please make sure the glue is on point. Add extra clip-ins. I have faux dreads at the moment, so I'm good. But please watch your wigs, your toupees. We don't want our wigs getting snatched by Storm Eunice. And look at what it's done to the O2 Arena. I was shocked when I saw this. Now, I knew that the O2 Arena was actually originally built as a temporary structure, but I would have still thought that it was built to withstand weather like this. But here we are, and the whole of the top was, or not the whole of it, but quite a big chunk of it was destroyed. Fun fact about the O2 Arena, at one point, there was someone from the, who was it from? From the, actually on the board, there was a person who was on the board of the dome back when it was called the Millennium Dome. And he actually suggested that the dome be refashioned to accommodate for hospital and businesses and charities and private residences, and to rename the whole thing the Princess Diana Centre. So that was actually an idea that was proposed, and that was following the death of Diana. So there was someone who had a nice thought about what we should do with the dome, because the original concept of the dome was a bit of a flop, and nobody really knew what was going to be done with it until the private company came in and turned it into the O2 Arena. So fun fact about the dome. And funny tweet from Omid there. But of course, the biggest piece of news for the day is the issues that are still surrounding Harry's security. Now, as of today, oh, thank you very much, CMAC. Happy Friday. Thank you for your donation. So as of today, oh, okay, I can see you guys talking about something to do with TMZ. Okay, I'll get to that in a sec. So Harry has begun his fight with the Home Office and his right to pay for private security. It's really, really annoying that the British press keep pushing this false narrative that you cannot hire private police, that private police are not for hire. That is absolutely nonsense. Pretty much any country that you go to, if there are off-duty police officers, you can pay to have private security. And obviously, in this situation, you cannot bring to the UK anyway armed security guards, and that's what Harry wants. And we already debunked this lie. There are many examples of celebrities and diplomats doing this. And in any case, Harry inherited the risk and should be entitled to that security. I really do believe that in this particular situation, all roads lead to Charles, because he cut his son off, and we know what happened with Diana when her security got cut off. Now, Harry's being represented by a lawyer called Shahid Fatima. And according to Omid, she specializes in international and public laws, and her practices extend beyond the UK and include the European Court of Human Rights and UN treaty bodies. In 2007, she was awarded Justice Human Rights Lawyer of the Year. So a pretty hardcore lawyer there. Harry is not playing around. Didn't even go to Shillings for this one. Went straight to the woman who's out here doing UN treaty court appearances. So Harry's not playing around. And I should also point out, because another false narrative that is being painted is that this is somehow similar to the way they were trying to paint the court situation with Meghan. Like, this is Harry who's on trial somehow. It's not. It's the Home Office that's on trial, and he's appealing their decision to not let him pay for security when this is something we know that can be done. And to be honest, this is another example of the royal family just digging their own grave. Because the next question then becomes is, who else was involved in this decision to not let Harry pay for his own security? Because who's the head of the Home Office at the moment? It's Miss Preeti Patel. And one will also have to ask in court, well, if this is a risk that Harry inherited, why isn't he being entitled to the same protections as every other member of the royal family? So once again, they're just putting themselves in a situation where they're opening a can of worms. So Melita, you said, I just saw on TMZ reporting about Harry's security. Harry said in court that it was not safe for him and his family to be in the UK unless he had security. But Harvey never mentioned that. Well, of course he wouldn't mention that, because TMZ is under the umbrella of the Murdoch the Murdoch cult of media outlets. And also people like Harvey Levin are essing their pants right now, because the pushback against media like TMZ is starting. You're already seeing the likes of kind of Perez Hilton and Wendy Williams and Tasha Kay, like these people who are just kind of nasty for the sake of being nasty. They're slowly finding that they just don't have a place in today's media landscape, where people are reflecting and saying, this isn't right what they do. I'll be honest with you, I was a huge fan of TMZ and E News back in the day, when they were a little bit more TMZ like. Like, E News became more pro celebrity because they wanted to kind of suck up to all the celebs and have them on their side. But there was a time when even E News was very TMZ like, and those kind of candid videos of chasing around celebrities around LA. And I'll be honest, like a lot of people, I was into that trash. And I think a lot of people are now reflecting and saying that was very, very damaging, not just for the celebrities, but also for us to be viewing these people in such a voyeuristic manner. It was a very abusive relationship. So people like Harvey Levin, they know that their time is coming. And they know that this reckoning that's happening towards media, towards abuse on social media, is it's going to affect them sooner, or very, very soon. Yes, honey, the storm is no joke. And also the O2 is very near to the Thames, and there's kind of, obviously, with all the buildings surrounding the Thames River and this open body of water and space, you're going to get a little bit of a wind tunnel. So I can imagine the winds over there are much stronger. I've actually climbed over the O2. You can actually do that, by the way, as in when they fix it. And if you're ever in London, it's a very, very nice experience. But I would only recommend it when it's warmer, because it's very, very windy up there. And I did it when it was a very, very hot day. Can't imagine when it's cold. Must be horrible. Audrey, thank you for answering my questions. Whenever you get a free week, a visit in Mardi Gras, parade rolling from the morning till night, and drinks until you drop. Fabulous. I will put that on my wish list. Thank you, Audrey. Okay. Melissa, yeah, of course they're trying to spin it because he's not a senior royal, he can't get it anymore. Well, he can't get it on the taxpayer's dime, but he wants to pay for it. And a holy cow, was it made of Reynolds wrap foil paper? I believe it's made of some kind of like glass fiber. But if you watch the video, it literally looks like foil paper just creasing and going into the river. TG Carter, people mistake that it's only the royal family that Harry wants to see, but the Spencers are where his mum is buried in situ of her memory, of course. He has other friends and family here. Audrey, Harry should just forget his family right now. Now he will not be safe if they decide to let him come. Well, do you know what? At the very, very least, I do think that Harry would want to come for his grandmother's funeral. Um, but you're right, it's not safe unless he can get security. Or it's not safe at least until all the skeletons come uh, falling out of the closet and all the attention is on all the other royals scandals, and then people finally, hopefully, see them for what they really are and realize that Harry and Meghan were never the bad ones here. Seem like the Home Office is on public blast if they keep towing the line for the unroyals. This becomes an international situation if they keep fighting protection. Yeah, and look at what's happened now. Now we've got a human rights lawyer involved. Oi. This is embarrassing for Britain. What type of country have we become? Paying Pedro 12 million, but backing out and protecting an actual prince of the realm. Yeah. And one who's actually done his service and served his country well in so many ways. It's so embarrassing. And I think the only people that really are buying into this media narrative are the royalists. Everybody else can see how ridiculous this is. And for this to come up just after Andrew's case, and we know that they are paying for his security and protecting him, it just looks even worse. Oh, hello, Kathy G. Thank you for joining us. Yes, Emerald, they're being vindictive and childish. Bristol, I like how the Duke and Duchess are handling things. They do everything right. They have a great PR team, unlike the unroyal self-indulgent fools. Exactly. Lands lady, has the Queen died? Not that I know of. Charles was out again today. I thought he had Mr. C. Yeah, April. I think it's really the funeral he's fighting for. Because you know what's going to happen if he doesn't come to the funeral, then it's going to be, oh, Harry didn't come to the funeral. It was Meghan. It was Meghan that made Harry not come to the funeral. That's going to be Angela 11, that witch. Duchess, do I think that Harry will win his court case? If the judicial system upholds the law, then yeah, he should win. And so far, to be fair, they have. Meghan won her case fair and square. And to me, this looks like an open and shut case. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but given everything we do know, to me, this looks like an open and shut case. Emily Andrews, Emu, was trying to suggest that in the initial Sarandon summit, Harry had not offered to pay security or something along those lines. Like when he came for the Diana unveiling, he didn't offer to pay for security. But even if he didn't, and I don't believe that, but even if he didn't, given that he was going to be with William, he should have gotten security anyway. But I don't know. I don't believe anything Emily Andrews says when it comes to Harry anyway. Yeah, Emily. So they just want to punish him. And him and Meghan just need to continue to thrive. Yes, Joe, pettiness to the extreme. To the extreme. But we can be petty too. They don't know what petty is. And you know, they love to act like the Sussex Squad are just a bunch of people yelling on the internet like we don't mean anything. And yet look at how much they've written about us. This was taken off of Twitter. I don't take credit for this. But yeah, Sussex Squad versus the Firm. Why Harry and Meghan are winning the PR war in America. Sussex Squad comes to Harry and Meghan's defense. Who is Ben Browning? Meet the Oscar-nominated film producer joining Harry and Meghan's Sussex Squad. Sussex Squad to put over 100 women through school. I mean, we've done that, guys and dolls. We've done that. And they are most definitely scared of us. I'll never forget watching a show and Dan Wooten was like, this is the Sussex Squad. The Sussex Squad. He literally sounded like a possessed serpent. I want to get that clip and show it to you. Because you could tell he was peeved. And if the likes of Dan Wooten are saying our names, then you know that they're scared of us. It cannot get any worse because they've already called him every name under the sun, praying for them always. Yes, and before I forget, this is actually a statement that was released from his lawyer. So this is a lawyer here saying, this claim is about the fact that Prince Harry does not feel safe when he is in the UK, given the security arrangements applied to him in June 2021 and will continue to be applied to him. It goes without saying that he does want to come back to see family and friends and to continue to support the charities that are so close to his heart. Most of all, this is and will always be his home. So I'm glad that they continue to say this and continue to reiterate that he does want to come back and see his family, his friends, and that Britain is his home. Because like I said, as and when the Queen does finally pass, they are going to make it look like he doesn't want to come back. And they will weaponize that against him. Hi Fletcher. The royal family is jealous and intimidated by Meghan. They are doing everything in their power to prevent Meghan, not Harry, from entering the UK. Next to Meghan, they look incompetent and lazy. Yeah. And I think they'll also definitely try and make Meghan look bad if she can't come to the Queen's funeral. Even though, quite frankly, I don't think she has any reason whatsoever to come to the Queen's funeral. But you just know that if she doesn't, it's going to be a whole other story. And Meghan was disrespecting the Queen and all that nonsense. Teresa, I don't believe those crazies. Every time they move their lips, lies fall out. Yeah, for sure. Sandy, being vindictive and vile towards the Sussexes will result in the UK taxpayers gradually requesting an audit for relevant royal freeloaders. Yeah. And it's already started. People are already asking, well, where does the money go? How much money goes to them? And I think actually this is the first time a lot of people are asking those questions. That's true for Dilly. They are jealous that Harry and Meghan escaped and they're still stuck in the royal family, slowly drying up. And that is actually a good segue into the next thing that I was going to mention, because remember that these were meant to be the Fabulous Seven. Do you remember this? The Fabulous Seven, the Magnificent Seven? And now, now you've just got a bunch of terrible twos. And by the twos, I mean Mumbles and Baldy and the Tampon Twins. So that's what you've got now. You've got the terrible twos, and the other ones, they don't even matter. Sophie, Edward, and Anne, like, who are they even? Nobody knows who they are. Yes, Avery, the Sussex Squad stops them from controlling the narrative because we push back. This is why I want to work so much harder on my blog now, because there have been a couple times where I've actually managed to get videos quite high in the algorithm. So if I can do this similar thing with articles, when people start searching for news, they can find articles that push back against the narrative as well. Yes, Vinny, if Harry said he offered to pay for security at Sarandom, I believe him. He's not going to tell a lie like that, and certainly not on his grandma, father, and brother. Amen. I think Emily Andrews is just she a liar, like all of them. It just made you laugh imitating Dan Wooten. uh, so we all know that Dan Wooten and Jason Knopf went to the same university, right? They graduated within a year of each other. I don't know how close they were, but there's definitely a connection there. Cookies and cream ultra Sussexes could sue the unroyal family for their blatant human rights violations. The Sussexes are no longer in the UK. Meghan's in her home country. They're abusing her from across the pond. I think at this moment in time, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. Little by little, just always remember that little by little, the narrative is breaking down. And so I think the best thing for the Sussexes to do is let the court of public opinion tear the royals apart. They shouldn't be the one to go after the royals. I don't think that that's a good idea at all, especially while the queen is still alive. I feel like there's a lot of things that will come out without the Sussexes doing anything, or by kind of going through other court cases. So, for example, with Meghan's privacy court case, that's how we now know that it was Jason Knopf and William that tried to work against Meghan, right? So if she had, for example, gone and tried to sue the royals, gone and tried to sue William, that would have been a whole nother thing. But now it's come out that we know that William was involved in trying to get Meghan to lose her court case. So I think that is a more clever way of going about things. So the next thing that could possibly happen is if Meghan sues, for example, for libel for these so-called bullying claims, right? So I think they have to be more strategic about it and not just, oh, we're going to sue the royals. That's not a good idea. If any of that made sense. Yes, they're digging their own graves, Sandy. Miranda, the trolls should be afraid of us. They honestly thought no one would end up for the Sussexes. They were wrong. We were here and we defend the Sussexes. Yeah, and we have been incredibly active. We continue to be. Whenever something big like this happens, I am noticing more and more and more that even people who aren't in the Sussex squad, don't consider themselves squaddies, are speaking up and speaking out. So let's keep it going, guys and dolls, because it is having an effect. And the more media we create, the more social media handles we create, the more blogs we create, the more channels we create. This is why I support all Sussex Squad channels and outlets. I'm not in competition with anyone because I want as many outlets as possible to drown out the noise. Yes, Annie, tampon twins. Edward, I have no idea where Edward is. Oh, Edward and Sophie and them lot are currently holidaying while Britain is being ripped apart in a storm and people can't afford eggs and milk. How weird is it though, guys and dolls? How weird is it? I'm quite spiritual person. I wouldn't say that I was religious, but I would say that I'm very spiritual. How weird is it that this storm came literally like a few days after this whole thing with Prince Andrew? Mate, there's some weird chromatic stuff going on in the universe for sure. Do you think that the Queen is about to step down? There's been way too much talk about Charles' coronation. Either step down or she's a lot more ill than what they're saying. I mean, you saw the picture that I showed yesterday. She looked very, very frail and she was walking with a stick. So I definitely think at the most, she's got maybe a year or two. That's my honest prediction. She's looking very, very frail. She just needs to rest. Like I said yesterday, as much as I have my own opinions about the Queen, them bringing her out at this point, it's just elderly abuse, and it looks really, really bad. It's clear that they're just using her to basically as a shield. And in fact, I think that segues greatly into the next thing that I was going to touch upon. I mean, look at this article. The Queen is putting the royal family's affair in order. With Andrew, Charles, and Harry, there's a lot to do. Why are they putting Harry in the same headline as Charles and Andrew? Charles and Andrew, who were friends with pedos. Andrew, who's an offender. And Andrew, apparently, as part of his settlement, has agreed that he cannot say that he didn't assault Virginia. He can't deny it. So obviously he's. I mean that kind of works in his favor, but also not in his favor, because if he's asked about it, he can't deny it. But then also it kind of gives him an exit door to just not talk about it ever again. Black Queen, the Rangers were saying that Meghan wasn't at the Super Bowl because Meghan wanted to stay away to overshadow Kate reading a children's book. Well, Kate has had all the damn time to read children's books and do whatever it is that she wanted to do before Meghan ever came onto the scene. So they are truly deranged if they think that Meghan was even thinking about Kate. Avery, I have lost all the combination. They tried to look relevant. Next minute, it will be the Fantastic Five corgis. Well, I'd much rather pay millions of my taxpayer money to the corgis than I would to the On Royal Mafia. At least the corgis would be entertaining. Spectra, Anne stays so close and worked so hard because she has no claim to anything. She just stayed a socialite and never made a way for herself. Yeah, she didn't really do anything. But then it's not an institution that expects anyone to do anything, especially for a woman. Yeah, Chief Dilly, the Fabulous Seven. Do these people look particularly fabulous to you? Like a bunch of grifters. I mean, not that royal families in other countries aren't any different. Although to be honest, you do get the ones that work. But one thing I will say is at least they look incredibly glamorous. At least they're really putting that taxpayer money to use. Not like this bland lot. Yes, Sandy, Self Squad is winning because we've got receipts. I mean, bear in mind, Charles does still have his own health problems. So he could well live into his 90s because Windsor's just refuse to depart this planet. They live for so long. But how much of his reign is he actually going to be cognitive? Gwen, I think H&M are doing the right thing. Stay silent, everything's coming out. Look at what happened with the O interview. They said nothing afterwards and things just started coming out. Yeah, because they tell on themselves. We are very much not a racist family, they say while surrounding themselves with black people. Okay, I'll get to the comments shortly, but oh, that is actually all I really had to say. I just had one funny thing that I saw on Twitter. So with all of the storms happening, there's a guy who runs a channel called Big Jet TV, and it's all about aviation. Well, he went to the airport and started filming all the planes landing. It was actually quite gripping because some of the planes were just like kind of flying all over the place and trying to land. Really gave me a newfound appreciation for pilots. But at one point, he had like well over 100,000 people watching the live stream. Had like hundreds of people signing up to as members. But as someone on TV pointed out, his Big Jet TV was getting more than 2.5 more times viewers than GB News. And GB News, if you don't know, is the new propaganda mouthpiece from Rupert Murdoch here in the UK, and they do go after Harry and Meghan a lot. So a bunch of planes landing were getting more views today than GB News, and that made me very, very happy. That's pretty much all I had to say today. Not much. Thank you everyone for coming. I'll just get through your comments. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Friday and your weekend. And thank you as always for everyone for donating. We had some new members recently. And yeah, let's get to your comments. Get to your comments and then we'll get to the dancing. What picture should we have? Usher sipping? Yes, I'm gonna go with Usher sipping. Mm. Yes, Bonnie, success is the best revenge. Yeah, Black Light. I'm so glad that Megan is quiet as well, to be honest. I think it's a very good strategy. The more quiet she is, the more desperate they get for her. And um, I'm glad that I think we're in a place now where even Megan recognizes her power. And yeah, she's busy with her work and being a good mother, and that's what's really important right now. And to be a strong support for Harry. I mean, Megan can do whatever she wants, but I do think that it is better that at least for now, while a lot of the royal family's internal dramas are going on, that she is a little bit more silent and in the background, because anything she does at this point is going to be used as a distraction um, from the royals and their shenanigans. Oh, London lady, we're so glad that you're here as well. No, you're not alone in your love for the Sussexes. Sussexes have a huge fan base. I mean, there is actually a Twitter, not Twitter, an Instagram account, which I'm going to post it for you actually right now. I think it's called Duchess of Sussex. It's like Duchess underscore Sussex underscore or something like that. But it's run by a girl in the UK called Jessica, and she has over 300,000 followers, and that's on Instagram. So believe you me, there's a lot of people that do support the Sussexes. Let me just try and find it's called Duchess. I'll post it in the comments. One sec. Yes, here we go. It's underscore of underscore, and it's a really, really good account. And she's been tracking the Sussexes pretty much from the time that Harry and Meghan started dating. And all of her posts are super, super detailed. She has really, really good archives, and hands down, in my opinion, the best Instagram account for the Sussexes. So if you want very detailed, almost hourly updates, definitely follow her. I mean, I obviously have my own Instagram as well, but it's still not to the level of this, and I can't do all the things. So go to her for Instagram and come to me and Baron and me for your YouTube fix. Yes, Teresa, it's having an effect, the Sussex squad, because everyone defending the Sussexes can't be considered a bot or out to get the royal family. And in the beginning, that's how they tried to paint us, but it's no longer working. Corinne, I pray one day all this orchestrated wickedness will come to an end. I believe it will. I believe it will. And the fact that Harry's attorney is a human rights attorney makes this case itself worldwide. Yeah. The fact that they picked her, that just tells me that they mean business. By the way, guys, do you know that there's a feature? It's been here for a while, but there's a feature now that's quite new that allows you to play music. I've been wanting to try it for a while. Shall we try it? See what this even sounds like. Do you like the sound of that? Have a dance pop because it's a Friday. Let's see what that sounds like. Yes or no to the dance pop? When it gets to the comment section of the podcast that I will end with, should we put on the music then? Or should we just keep it silent? You will tell me. Or how about lo-fi? Let's try that. No, no dance pop. No? I'm waiting for your feedback. How about the lo-fi? Do you like the lo-fi? I'm quite feeling the lo-fi, you know. Okay, you all are not feeling it. Okay. No to the music. I will not play the music. We'll put Megan's nice face while we finish up the comments. Sylvia, where does Sophie and Edward get their money? Well, they're technically considered working royals, so it must be from Sovereign Crown or the Duchy of Cornwall. Ty Fletcher, if you ask anybody who dislikes the Sussexes why they dislike them, the only response is they lie. They disrespected the Queen. Meghan wanted to be Queen. They don't have a valid reason. No. And I mean, how ridiculous to think that Meghan would have wanted to be Queen. You know, they say, oh, they lie. Well, what did they lie about? All they're doing is listening to these ridiculous so-called royal experts like Angela Levin. Ugh, that woman. Oh, and that actually reminds me, there was actually something that I was gonna say about Angela Levin. Give me a sec. Did I? I think I might have just forgotten to prepare that slide, but basically, I'm pretty sure there's someone else doing a podcast that will mention this as well, but it was basically debunked, Angela Levin's lies about getting close access to Harry were basically debunked. She had a short interview with him, and a lot of the details from that interview she was never even meant to talk about. She turned it into a whole feature and then into a whole book. And she's also gone back and forth with lies about whether or not she spoke to Harry about Meghan. Now, in the short interview that she did have with Harry, she was specifically told that she couldn't ask about Meghan, and they never spoke about Meghan. They never spoke about Meghan, and then since then, she's then gone on several talk shows and claimed that she did talk about Harry and Meghan's relationship. So the woman is just a deranged liar, and she's trying to milk this for every penny that she can get. Hey, giddy up with that jubbly, or weekend at Beckley is coming. Uh, right, Dreadlogs, if they're trying to bait Harry by keeping him from visiting, bringing his kids to see the Queen, that way when she passes, they can have another yardstick to beat him with. They'll backfire big time. I think it will. Everything they've done so far has backfired, and I don't know why they don't understand that they need to just back off. Did you hear that the British taxpayer will be paying 12 million more for Andrew to move from his house? I did hear something about this, but the number that I saw was about 7 million that he will get a payout for leaving his house. I don't understand that. I don't know what rule or what protocol that comes under, but they've just randomly started printing the story that yes, he will get a payout. for leaving his house that the taxpayer paid for. Make it make sense. Cinderella, the queen will never step down. She'll die as the monarch. I think that's likely to happen. I think that's very likely to happen. Yeah, because the queen girl pink is the only show that the unroyals have for now. And the crazy thing is that they're not even doing anything to help them win favor once she's gone. Yeah, Dawn, it's over for the royal family. Well, I don't think it's over, but they're going to have a very hard time. Charles is not going to have an easy reign. Camilla is not going to have a fun reign. all of that hard work she did as mistress is going to amount to nothing. And let's not forget, there's still the looming issue of um, William's rosebush antics and whether some of those rosebush antics planted mini rose bushes. Mm. Yes, Leslie. Why would Harry's name even be in that headline? He had nothing to do with anything Epstein related. They keep trying to drag Harry into all of their dramas he has nothing to do with. Piccadilly, Charles looks just his character in the Windsors. If you've not watched that on Netflix, please do. It's hilarious. Oh, okay. Yes, he's so right for getting this lawyer. His case is a human rights issue. I mean, they are literally trying to off Harry and Meghan in front of our eyes. How can you just let a prince of the realm, who is an obvious target, who went to front line of Afghanistan, just let him and his family be left open to attack? It's outrageous. Ginger, whatever happened to the investigation into Meghan's so-called bullying and stuff? That was a lie that came up to distract people from the Oprah interview, and it's going to backfire on them because she could countersue for libel. Do Dan Wootton's voice again? Are you serious? I can't really do his voice. It's just the particular way that he said Sussex squad. There's Sussex squad. Like that's what got me laughing. Like you could just hear the bitterness in his voice, like a possessed serpent. He was definitely in the Slytherin house when he went to Hogwarts. Joe blogs, what a coincidence! 12 million payout versus 12 million on Jobly books to primary schools across the UK. Guess where the 12 million for the books will come from? Taxpayers. Yeah. Well, it's being done with the Department of Education, so that's definitely from the taxpayers' pocket. It's not even coming from the royal family's private pocket, which is where it should come from. If they want to have books about the Jobly, why can't it come from them? Why is it coming from the Department of Education, which is a government department? Crazy. Yes, Astrid, GB News is like Fox News here in the States. It was basically meant to be the UK version of Fox News. That's basically what it was meant to be. And Dan Wooten is on GB News, by the way. So they're definitely not a friend to the Sussexes. Joe blogs, once the Queen passes, many who are staying silent will come forward for Harry and Meghan. I think so as well. And somebody made a very good point earlier today in Sussex Squad Spaces, and they said, you know, after the 72 female MPs in the UK came forward for Harry and Meghan, or for Meghan specifically, that was the chance for more people to come forward. And it's just insane how all of these um, anti-bullying charities, these, you know, women's rights charities, and all of that were all still incredibly silent, even after the 72 MPs came out. So to be honest with you, all those people that come out for Harry and Meghan after the Queen passes, I'm just going to side eye them, to be honest, because I didn't want to come out really when it mattered, when Meghan was really being battered. Yes, GB News is a wannabe Fox News, but it's failing. People would rather watch planes landing in a storm. That's far more gripping. Yes, Joe Blog, silence can never be misquoted. Charles was attacked in Australia once, so he could be more. So he should be more acutely aware of security. I am aware of an attempt or assassination attempt on Charles. Was it in Australia? Is that the one that I'm thinking of? Mm. Yes, Joseph. The silence is deafening and it drives the haters stark raving mad. Of course. I call it the Beyonce method. Like, have you noticed over the years, Beyonce has pulled away more and more and more? She doesn't really give interviews anymore, like spoken on camera interviews, unless she's very much in control of it. And she's very picky about where she performs, when she performs, who she collaborates with now. And I think it's really when you get to that level of fame and notoriety, I think it's just the best way to go because then you have a lot more control over the narrative. And I think in today's generation of putting everything out there, um, and pretty much a generation that doesn't really know what privacy is, and in well, I wouldn't say doesn't know what privacy is. I think just is willing to put so much of their lives out there. I think we've kind of forgotten the power of pulling away and not giving everything and not putting everything out there. But it's a very powerful tactic. Yes, Reba, their main strategy was to separate the Sussexes, but it's not working and it's making them stronger. Let her rock. Imagine that comical propagandist GB News cartel. I know that platform will continuously bash the Duchess, given the grifters they invite, mouthing any scripted class non-stop. Yeah, even honestly, the production value of GB News, it just looks like a joke. Mm. Okay, I've gotten to the part where you're all like, no music. No music, distracting. Okay, there will be no music. Yes, Melissa, the royal family is telling on themselves. Um, Mona, yes, planes landing, corgis on tour, and the storm ripping off roofs more popular than the on-royal Fab 7. Um, and if how Voldemort set Roth with the black man, yeah, we will forever be reminded that Voldemort slept rough with a black man. Uh, slept rough with probably like 5 security guards and snipers on the surrounding roofs. Not really sleeping rough, is it? Astrid, has there ever been an inquiry into where the royal family hides their money or how much they have? I'm sure that there are independent journalists who have tried looking into it, but when you've got the protection of tax havens and shell companies, it can be very difficult to track money like that. And also now, with the advent of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, it's even more easier to hide a lot of your assets. Oh yes, thank you for reminding me, Reba, not Levine, latrine. Angela Latrine. Say it in a French accent. Latrine. Yes, Angela Latrine. Angela Levin is a liar. Who the heck is this lavatory latrine woman? Apart from being the buy the Chucky girl, bye. Yeah, she wrote a whole article in the Daily Fail about how her mother was absolutely awful, and I don't think she even realizes how she's literally become the woman she hates so much. Literally become her mother. Yeah, it was only like 15 minutes with her, and the thing is, she had to fight to get that interview because she's not part of the Royal Rota. She's still not part of the Royal Rota now. She wasn't an official journalist, and they gave her that time, and she basically abused the situation. Sylvia, well, on the H&M wedding morning, Angela Levin was doing interviews, and she never said she talked to Harry about Meghan. In another interview she did, in at least one other interview, she has claimed that she talked to Harry about Meghan, but that is a lie. So she keeps changing the story, basically. Oh, thank you for coming, Lucy Wynn. Oh, Lucy, sorry, I think I must have mixed the message. Um, oh, I'm so sorry, Lucy. Sorry for your loss. Oh gosh. Everybody say a prayer for Lucy, please. Just take some time for you, hun. Take some time for you. Um, mm, Benjamin, I don't think it's completely over yet. However, changes are definitely on the horizon. The royal family is proving themselves to be arrogant and beyond what many imagined. Arrogant and not very smart. Thank you, Hannah. You have a lovely weekend too. Yeah, I'm so glad that Dawn Butler made that suggestion about putting the books online as well. I mean, 12 million on books, ridiculous. Cheryl, this monarchy demonstrates the truth about the term insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting the same result. They don't attempt to change until it's too late, if ever. Well, they clearly haven't learned from the Diana years, have they? Clearly, they haven't learned from the Diana years. They're doing the exact same thing because you've got the exact same crazies in the positions that were there during that time. And really, I think a lot of those courtiers are more interested in keeping their positions and being yes men and women than doing even the right thing for the royals. Yeah, there are some people that are fighting mad that a letter has been sent asking that taxpayers' funds not to be used on a wasteful book. I mean, really? As if those kids are even going to remember what was written in those books when they're older. As if it's going to matter. As if we're not going to already spend tens of millions and hours of airtime on the Jubilee, leading up to the Jubilee, The whole weekend of the Jubilee. Christ. Yeah, girl pink. Sometimes silence is golden. Silence is golden when you choose the silence, not when you're silenced. When you're silenced by someone else, it's very detrimental. When you're silenced of your own choosing, it can be very powerful. Jennifer, you're cooking, listening to your podcast, listening to my podcast. What are you cooking? Chicken, salmon? Oh, Senate, greetings from Senegal. Greetings, greetings. Yes, Women's History Month is next month. I imagine the Duchess will appear somewhere. Yes, I'm sure she will. I'm sure she will. I was even thinking of doing like a special episode where we go through all of the amazing things that Meghan has done for women and girls since the time that she was, or since the time she wrote that letter to Procter and Gamble. So I think that would be quite a fun episode to do. Margaret, Scotland is returning the Queen's crown. What's that about? Hmm. Let me do a quick Google. Scotland returning Queen's crown. What do you mean by they're returning it? You're gonna have to explain what you mean by that. Oh, but something else that I forgot to mention is York, the area in the UK called York, is looking to remove Andrew, and they've actually set in motion. Can't remember what it. Just hang on a sec. York removing Andrew. Just want to make sure that I get it right. Um, yes, he could lose his honorary title. Yes, the Lib Dem councillors in York have said they will be submitting a motion to begin the process of removing Prince Andrew's honorary freedom of York, which he has held since 1987. So people very swiftly moving to not be associated with Andrew. Myra, making this polite, she's allowing Peter the spotlight. Yeah, give them the spotlight and let them burn under that spotlight. Because you know what? They wanted it. Wanted the spotlight, they've got it. Yes, Audrey, Megan knows how to pick her battles. Yes, Angela's mother did actually call her Satan. That was written in the article. Now we know why. Okay, we're coming to almost an hour now, so I'm afraid I'm gonna have to race through your comments and try to get to the bottom and see who gets the last word. Cookies and cream. The Unroyal family has shown their racist, barbaric hand. They're willing to pay for Prince Android's settlement, but they won't allow themselves to pay for security. Yeah, Prince Android has security. Yeah, and he probably will do until the end of his days at the cost of around 300,000 per year, if I'm not mistaken, from the taxpayers' purse. Um, um, so who's going to get the last word? Is Scotland requesting to be a republic? I think there's definitely a very high level of Republican support in Scotland. So we're just going to have to wait and see. Yes, Carol, when you're silent and nobody knows what you're thinking, what your next move is. Laroque, it's the courtier's bread and butter, considering what they know about the royal family's wealth that occurred. They need their own coffers and perpetually, yeah. But at this point, they probably earn more by squealing, to be honest. Like if I'm in the royal household right now, I'm writing my tell-all book and I'm waiting for the dominoes to fall so I can get my book deal. I mean, think of everyone that got involved with the Trump White House. Like, who that was involved in the Trump White House did not get a book deal? Literally everybody got a book deal. Omarosa got a book deal. So I can imagine that all those courtiers in the palace, they're all waiting for the right time, I'm telling you. Um, and some of the squad should write a book about the truth about the blatant racism making experience from the British press and tabloids, with all the twits from the papers calling M names. I believe there was actually a squaddy that did write a short book. I can't remember what it was called, but I do remember that Tina and Michelle actually promoted it in one of their podcasts. So if I can remember what the title is, I'll post in the in the community tab. But I do believe that there was one squaddy that did try to write, or she did actually write a short book and published it on Amazon, but she self-published it. But yeah, I do think that we need somebody to write like a very, very detailed account. Vinny Blair, in the last 5 minutes, I just saw 3 videos of Levin talking about Harry. Two, she said she was not allowed to speak to Harry about Meghan. And one, she said he told her blah, blah. Yeah, she keeps changing the story. Anyway, who's going to get the last word? Angela Trent is a liar. Okay, Joan Gosling, I'm going to give you the last word. It would be powerful for all of us to blanket the Sussexes with continuing love and light. Amen, sis. Happy Friday to everyone. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Thank you to all the donations and the members. My condolences to Lucy. Wishing you prayers, darling. And everyone in the UK, just keep an eye out and be careful when you're walking down the road because the storm is still active, and I have literally seen parts of roofs falling off. So keep your eye out, and let's get ready to dance our way into the weekend. Thank you, everybody. Bye.